Okay, I think we're going to get started then. Just a couple housekeeping things. All of you the line will be muted today, and if you have questions, please enter them in the chat box on the side of your screen, and we will answer those questions at the end of the call. So thank you everyone for joining. We're looking forward to a great webinar about automate accounts payable process to alleviate AP risks. The featured speakers today are myself, Lisa Thorne, Channel Development Manager with Canon Information and Imaging Solutions, and Deepak Padgaonkar, EVP of Technology at V3iT Consulting, Inc. We're really happy to have V3iT on board as a Canon Solutions Provider Partner, and we look forward to sharing some information with you today.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa, and thank you everyone for taking your time to join the conference today, and hopefully this is an informative one. I just want to take a few moments to quickly introduce V3iT. We are a company of 15 years, have been primarily focused on SAP. We have over 100 SAP certified consultants and a total of a team strength of 500 globally. We have partnered with Canon to automate some of the business challenges that are faced by businesses today. Our focus has been in the public sector as well as in the private sector, and strictly in the SAP solutions. We have been a reseller of SAP, a services partner, an education partner, and we are the first 7 certified application managed services provider to SAP. I just wanted to give you a brief of what are the solutions we offer. We offer complete implementation services. Our specialization is in SAP migrations and supports. We also have done a lot of deployments in the mobile, social, big data, HANA, and predictive analytics. In fact, last February, March, we actually did the first S4 HANA implementations right after it was released. We do also SAP product certifications and stock augmentation as well. With that, I will turn it over to Lisa to introduce Canon, and then I'll take it from there.
Thanks, Deepak. So most of you may think of Canon from your past as the camera company or the printer company. Well, we're excited that this new part of Canon that we belong to is Canon Information and Imaging Solutions, a new Canon company. And this company was formed to bring together Canon's imaging technologies and information management expertise. And we've been doing this for about 4 years. So one of the great things about Canon, of course, is that we are a leader in imaging and information management technologies. We were established in 1934. Our corporate headquarters is in Japan, and we have about 189,000 employees. And in 2015, we were $32 billion in revenue. We're also ranked 3rd in patents registered in the U.S. in 2015. That's a very important point for Canon. We take great pride in our research and development efforts as a company, and for the last 30 years we've continually been in the top 5 patent earners in the U.S. and I think worldwide. So that's very exciting for Canon. We continue to push the limits of what imaging can do, and that's why we're going to share one of our solutions with you today. As far as Canon, our core competency, of course, is transforming organizations through digitization, leading technology, and experience. So we have expertise in both digital imaging and business process automation. So anywhere where there is paper, we can help you automate that process. Today we're going to hone in on one of our really leading technologies that we're sharing with clients worldwide, and that's AP Automation Solution. Deepak?
Thank you, Lisa. So with that, I'll start with the core focus of our today's presentation. And the question I will start with is, what are the biggest challenges facing the finance accounts payables departments globally. And we did some research on that, and we used some research that the Institute of Finance and Management published in a white paper. And when the question was posed to the different people around the world, the key answers that we got was minimizing errors is one of the biggest outlook, and 47.1% of respondents said that that was one of their primary outlooks. The lack of visibility into the total AP process from the invoices to the payments was the second biggest question or concern that was raised. Difficulty in handling and managing and filing of the invoices. In this digitized world, we still have paper invoices, and handling that, filing that is significantly a challenge even today. And the last but not the least was the cost of processing the invoices. So this is what we got as a few of the answers to the biggest challenges when they were posed the question. Also, what we found was in our research, as well as Forrester also had a parallel research, wherein when handled manually, this whole accounts payable process of processing the invoices through the payments accounted for 10% errors. So that's a significant margin of error if you're looking at the whole aspect. And to reconcile the error, the average cost that was denominated by Forrester research came out to a little over $50, which is again, if you see the significant impact of that or dent it could have, that's significant if you consider the number of invoices an average enterprise processes today. So the other thing that came to us was when you're processing these invoices manually or in a semi-automated fashion, one of the key things that came to us was the discrepancies and the reliability of the information. It was not it was completely unreliable in some cases. In some cases, there were manual errors, typos, and all those things. So incoming invoices, it's a very complex enterprise today. It needs to be validated with the correct data, making sure that all the information is correct. And when there is what we term as a three-way match in the AP process, purchase order to the goods receipt and the invoice receipt, in SAP terms, we call the three-way match of the PO, the GRIR. The three-way match has to be performed correctly, and all the data corresponding to all these three important documents has to be correctly matched. So if there is a discrepancy, that accounts for an error, and then that information gets lost or has a tendency to get lost. The entire process is not visible to the entire enterprise. So that is another key issues. So many stakeholders, if the top management brass is called, you cannot immediately answer the question because that's not visible. When it got paid, what got paid, when was the check sent, or was there a ACH deposit made? None of this information is readily available. And so that is one key thing that has to happen, and the transparency does improve a lot of this communication and visibility and addresses that. So that is one of the key areas that we try to address in our solution here. And so that there is a coherence between planning department, procurement department, the accounts payable department or accounting department in general, and even the supplier has a clear visibility into what's going on with their payments. So what we do here is we basically, what we have attempted in our solution is to slowly change the world of the paper invoices. So basically digitize the whole thing, and this is some of the statistics again from the Institute of Finance and Management. In last year, an average AP employee processes around 694 invoices. 56% of the suppliers still bill paper, and only 22% use electronic invoices. In a manual process, 48% of the invoices are paid in time, so almost 50% of the invoice, if you see the other side of the glass, it is not paid on time. And what is more staggering is 58% of early payment discounts are virtually never capitalized. So that's a significant number there again. So what is it that we are offering as a solution? The whole procure to pay process can be automated, and that is essentially the solution that we have brought to the table here, and the Enterprise Imaging Platform, EIP for short, along with the SAP integration, does exactly that. How does it do it? Basically, you can receive, you can scan and extract the invoice or the incoming document. When you extract the information from the incoming document, you can verify against the master data. For example, the material master on the line items, the vendor master on the header record. You can verify all of that against the purchase order. You can match all of that. You can turn it over to the AP analyst through a workflow process, make sure it is all correct. If there is any exception, the notification is sent. Then it actually goes through an approval workflow, wherein, again, if there are any exceptions, a notification is sent to the appropriate person. And if everything is correct, it actually creates the financial document or the AP voucher, which basically then gets into the AP team to do the F110 or the Rufus program or the Z Rufus program to actually convert it into a check or an ACH payment. So the whole end-to-end process is automated through the use of this solution. So what entails in this process? The first process is always the invoice receipt and capture. So how is it done? You don't have to actually scan the invoice. You can actually capture it from an email as well. So let's say ap@abc.com, and ABC, I'm just using the company name. So if there is a group distribution list called ap@abc.com, it comes into a group email. That email itself can be scanned using an email fetcher. We can actually take the invoice either in a PDF format or in the email or in the Excel, take it and then convert it into a scannable document. So that is the first part of it. And of course, you always have the ability to scan a document, whether it comes as an incoming fax or an incoming scan. So once you take that either in an email format or a scan format, you take all that data and break it down through a intelligent optical character recognition and convert it into the different fields. Some of the fields I have noted here, such as the vendor ID, the invoice date, the invoice number, what is the gross amount, what is the PO number, scan date, etc. And this is a very free form because every vendor, give or take, will have a different invoice format. So we can take any of those inputs through a clever optical character recognition. We can convert it into these fields. We can also intelligently determine whether it is a PO invoice or a non-PO invoice. Once that is done, we actually take that and assimilate it further into whether this invoice requires a specific approval process. For example, in the SAP system, you may have set up tolerance groups. You may have set up different levels of approvals. It can follow all those approval mechanisms and follow the same workflows which you have already predefined in your SAP system, either taking a standard workflow or taking a custom workflow. You can assimilate that, and then it can go through the entire approval process. So basically, we are not talking about templates here. The invoice capture can literally be a free format invoice coming from a vendor in any of the formats that I talked about, PDF, Excel, or email, take that, convert it into the various fields that I talked about, and then doing a quick check against the ERP master data, material master, vendor master, GL master, etc., to make sure that it is correctly entered there. We check against the PO number so that we have, if it is a PO-based invoice, we check against the PO details itself. Then we perform the GR-IR invoice three-way match. In case it is not a PO-based invoice, we do a two-way match, and we take that information and then process and assimilate that information within the SAP system. Once we take that information, we route it through the approval workflows as it is necessary. And just to give you an example here of a workflow configuration, you can have the approvals by invoice amount if it is less than 5K. And again, here I'm giving examples of tolerance groups that can go into the SAP system. So basically, they can approve based on the different tolerance group rules. You can also have escalations if the invoice does not match or does not conform. There is automatic escalations or automatic notifications that are sent out of the system. And if there is a delegation profile within SAP system, let's say the AP approval person is absent, then it will follow the delegation profile rules to send it to the person who is responsible in lieu of the person that is going to approve it, and that delegation profile is also followed. The workflow is executed, and the automation of the invoice send is happening. What is neat about this is in today's day, we hardly can live without a mobile device. And most of these approvals today, I mean, if you're talking to managers, they are actually doing these approvals over the mobile device or their mobile phone. And this has a support for all the mobile devices. So you can actually, when you are not on a corporate network, not on a VPN network, you can take this invoice, see it on your handhelds or mobile devices, take a look at it, perform the workflow, and the automation process can take over that. So it has got support for mobile devices right from the outset. Once it is gone through the workflow process, it gets the significant approvals that are necessary. It basically is all, as you can see, automated through the process. And you have the ability to notate or annotate or describe what you are approving, when you are approving, any reason for approval. All those can be captured as a form of the decision-making process that is required in the workflow. And once it is done, the whole automation happens and the invoice gets paid. What is also neat about this solution is it actually provides also the dashboarding capability. As I said, the notification emails through the process, escalations as necessary, the complete metrics in a complete dashboard / graphic format. As you can see, all of those things are available through the metrics, and you can actually extend this to your SAP system also and see the same metrics tie up to your SAP system also using possibly a Fiori dashboard if you are on the release of SAP that supports that. The benefits of automation, again, the questions that we started with, what are the key concerns or questions that the accounts payable department has? We are almost addressing all those questions effectively. So the first thing is reduce time. I mean, this is a no-brainer. It basically solves the problem of it not being real time. And with all the SAP technologies, or in general, all technologies moving to near real time, this also process is now made to near real time. It provides the visibility, which is another challenge that was not there. And then because of the process of automation and the significant reduction in time, the early discounts are now captured, and that accounts for your cash flow, better receipt of the discounts, and affects your bottom line in general. So improved accuracy is another thing that you can see because of the automation process, and only address on an exception basis, which is generally the thing that is desired of this kind of a system. Efficient use of manpower, no manual errors, no typos, and you've got easy visibility into reporting, into analytics and business intelligence. And of course, needless to say, there is no paper involved, so you're trying to cut your paper storage, printing costs, arranging costs, filing costs, mailing costs, etc. So all of those things are taken care of. Now, while we have started with the EIP process for accounts payables, what is coming across is the EIP solution that we have started with. The possibilities are endless. I have just named a few here. Finance accounting, we have started with the procure to pay process, but the same process now we are working on in order to cash. The travel and expense reporting can also be automated in a very similar way. In the human resources module, we can have the employment onboarding process, application or applicant processing process, the benefits management process. In terms of the healthcare records, now it is becoming more and more. And in the SAP terminology, again, Affordable Care Act is the norm of HR today. Every enterprise is trying to embrace that, and having those records in cleanly with the SAP system is something that is becoming a norm. So you can have all the patient records, insurance claims, compliance forms, all together automated. In terms of the CRM system, and this is not just linked to your ERP system. Should you have a ERP system, CRM system, or a SRM system, or even for that matter, a SCM system, they're all linked. So in the case of CRM system, you can actually link this EIP solution to your marketing campaigns, your contract renewals, your customer service. All of that can be accumulated into this EIP solution. In terms of education, the process of admissions, the process of financial aid, the student billing, and in the process of insurance, you have got claim processing, explanation of benefits, underwriting. All of these processes can be automated. And the neat thing about these is that you have a process of attachment, whether it is to the PO or the invoice. If you want to have that attachment, that also comes in standard with what is coming in. So the email or the PDF or the Excel gets attached as a document as a part of the automation process. And that is the whole process end-to-end from procure to pay, the GRIR, the three-way, two-way match, the taking of this document and attaching it to not just your SAP document, the invoice document or the PO document. You can also attach it if you are talking about a ECM or a SAP content management or an external content management system. It can actually adhere those documents and store it in that tertiary storage of your enterprise content management. Now, of course, security is paramount in all these solutions. So you've got role-based workflows. It adheres to the security of the SAP system and is also completely integrated. Just to give you an idea of the extent of some of the customers that we have worked with, there's a slew of customers, both in public sector, private sector, as well as in the space of higher education and research. And there's a lot of organizations that we have been of service to, and we certainly would appreciate the opportunity to be of service to your organizations. With that, I will turn it over to questions. If you need any more information, if I missed anything, or if you want me to cover anything in detail, I would certainly be able to do that. Lisa, back to you.
Thank you, Deepak. Great comprehensive overview. We do have a couple questions here. I think some have been answered. Let's see. Is this a template-based solution? I think you did cover that pretty well, that no, it is not. Things do not have to be in a template form. They can be read anywhere on the page. Here's another one. Does EIP support other languages and other currency formats? Niraj from Canon, can you help us with that one?
Sure, Lisa. Yes, EIP can support multiple languages. In fact, we support up to 130 different languages as well as different currencies.
Great. Thank you. Okay, this one is, can EIP send notification emails to approving managers in the case where specific invoices are so many days outstanding? I think you may have covered that a little bit, Deepak. Do you want to answer that one?
Certainly, and it does. It does. It basically follows the workflow either set up as a template within the EIP system also, or it can use the SAP custom workflow or the SAP standard workflow. Endpoint of each is basically a notification as is required, and it basically follows the same SCOT transaction within SAP that you are used to, which actually sends the outgoing email notification. And that is pretty much standard in almost all SAP systems as of today. So yes, it does support those notifications.
And this is Narazi, and thank you, Deepak. In addition, we also, EIP platform also provides a management dashboard which provides insight and analytics, so the manager can also look at the dashboard and see which invoices are pending beyond the approval date. For example, if it's past the 10 days, the manager will be able to look at the dashboard and see which invoices are pending approval or late.
Great.
Yeah, thanks, okay. Neeraj. That's a great point. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I know you had very detailed presentation. It was great. Thank you. I don't see any other questions here at this point, but for those of you on the line, we look forward to hearing from you. Please reach out to V3iT or Canon if you have that relationship as well with us, and we look forward to finding out what's going on in your environment and how V3iT and Canon can help you. And I know V3iT is planning in a couple more months to have an actual webinar that includes a demo as well. So we can do that for you. Just let us know your scenario, and we'll look forward to exploring it further with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Have a great day. Thank you.